Welcome to today's Explainer. We're tackling a genuinely fascinating intellectual challenge today. We are going to demystify the ancient and honestly sometimes elusive concept of the Tao. If you've ever found ancient philosophy a little tough to wrap your head around, don't worry, you're in the exact right place. We're going to translate this really profound cosmic idea through a completely modern, relatable tech lens. Basically, we're going to look at the universe itself as a giant master computer program. Let's dive right in. Fishes are in the water, humans are in the program. Kind of a jarring twist on a classic philosophical proverb, right? The traditional saying is humans are in the Tao, but swapping out that word for program instantly sets up the core metaphor for our explainer. Think about it. Just as a fish is completely immersed in and governed by the physics of water, you and I are completely immersed in a running, executing system. We don't even notice it most of the time, but it governs literally every single move we make. Section 1. The ultimate universal program. Now, you might be wondering, is this just a trendy tech metaphor to make old ideas sound cool? Actually, if we dig into the linguistic roots here, it is incredibly accurate. The Chinese word for program is cheng shu. Cheng literally means the rule, the law, or the equation, and shu means sequence and order. When you put them together, program means the order of formation, development, change, and evolution of a thing according to established rules. This perfectly validates our whole premise. The universe isn't just random chaos. It operates exactly like executing code, following strict, unbreakable rules and sequences. Think about the phone or laptop you're using to watch this explainer right now. A computer is essentially a program, and to get any use out of it, you have to follow its rules. But while human hackers and engineers write our earthly software, what about the flawless, infinitely complex code of nature? Well, our source material tells us that this ultimate program was compiled by the greatest creator. It's truly the grandest operating system in existence. Section 2. System Architecture. Master programs versus subprograms. So the universe operates on this fundamental contrast between master programs and subprograms. Master programs are the core, unchangeable background processes of the universe. Think of things like birth, aging, death, or just the fundamental nature of life itself. We absolutely cannot escape them. Subprograms, on the other hand, are highly localized, flexible processes. For example, you can't change the master program of how human hair biologically grows, right? But you can easily hack the subprogram of your specific hairstyle. You can't escape being human, but you totally have the power to hack the direction your life takes. This whole idea of a master program is perfectly illustrated by the biological human timeline. Going from fetus to baby to teenager to senior citizen, this is a perfectly automated, inescapable execution of code. Every human being has to go through this sequence. It's entirely out of our hands. The code compiles and we age. Simple as that. But it's not just aging, right? Automated system processes are running everywhere we look. The changing of the seasons happening in the exact same order for thousands of years. A plant germinating, a mother lactating at birth, or even our involuntary adherence to a nation's laws once we become citizens. These are all programs. Without any intervention, life just runs in these endless loops, completely constrained by biological and societal programming. Section 3. Hacking the system. Okay, here is the inciting incident of the human experience. We aren't just passive lines of code, we can actually alter our output. But to escape the constraints of a running program, you need what's called an external force to shift your track. Without that external input, things just loop around and around forever. The source uses a brilliant metaphor here. You cannot make your feet leave the ground by trying to lift yourself up by your own hair. You absolutely need an outside force. And the crazy thing is, this force doesn't even have to be massive. A random accident, a single sentence in a book you read, a passing thought, or even an insect can act as the input that completely changes your existing program. Throughout history, humanity has actually received some massive system updates. Impartially looking at the text, we see that the teachings of major historical figures like Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, Prophet Muhammad, and Confucius act as incredibly powerful external forces. Exposing yourself to their teachings is like downloading strong external code that can permanently alter your life's trajectory. Like the text says, one takes the way of saints when influenced by a saint. There's this incredibly vivid proverb for this concept. A butcher becomes a Buddha the moment he drops his cleaver. It tells us that hacking the system doesn't necessarily require a lifetime of effort. Even a single profound action or a sudden radical shift in how you think is a powerful enough input to instantly hack the system and rewrite the ultimate direction of your life. So I want you to imagine yourself standing at a metaphysical intersection. There are absolutely no road signs. You are forced to make a conscious choice. Well, that choice acts as the keyboard input that activates your next program. Whichever road you choose, the program for that specific road instantly starts to execute, and it's going to pull you toward its destination unless you make another choice to change course midway. And what exactly are those destinations? According to our source material, humans can enter into 12 different life programs. The main 4 paths tied to our inputs are hell, the human world, the Buddha world, and the celestial world. If you possess the consciousness of a human, you stay locked right here in the human program. But if your inputs align with a higher consciousness, your life program actually transfers. The source specifically notes that the Elysium world is the most optimal free program a human can possibly enter.
Section 4, the law of causality.
This brings us directly to the if X, then Y logic of the universe. The strict law of karma essentially acts as a computational input-output mechanism. It's simple. If you input or sow a melon seed, the output is a melon. You're not going to reap a banana. If your input is furtiveness, deceit, or trying to control other people, the program's output makes you a ghost bound for hell. If your input is integrity and good merits, the output is celestial. It is a very strict, unbreakable algorithm. Let's look at a very specific, real-world example straight from the text. Imagine taking a $100,000 bribe. Sure, in the short term, that malicious input might offer you a temporary subprogram benefit. You can go buy some nice things. But remember, the master program is unchangeable. The system will eventually extract a severe cost to balance out that equation. The text warns this bad input could output later as a calamity, the loss of a limb, or even being reincarnated as an animal just to pay off that karmic debt. And this is absolutely the core takeaway today. What goes around comes around. This is not fortune telling. It is literally the program running. I really want to emphasize this point. In this framework, karma and causality aren't these mystical woo-woo superstitions. They are objective, mathematical executions of the universe's code. If you cheat others, you're simply writing a nasty bug into your own software, and eventually it will crash your system.
But wait, what if you input good code and nothing happens? Think of a fruit tree. Peach fruits mature in 3 years, apricots in 4 years, but we have to wait 18 years to enjoy the fruit of walnuts. This beautifully illustrates the waiting game of the universe. Some code compiles super quickly. Other inputs take decades to produce their final output. If you don't see a result in 5 years, wait 10. If not 10, wait 100.
As this beautiful quote says, we do not see the fruit, not because it is barren, but we shall see it when the time is right. I think this is incredibly reassuring. Delayed outputs are literally a feature of the universal system, not a bug. Having anxiety over the timing is utterly useless. Once the program is activated, once that seed is planted, it is going to run automatically. Section 5, trusting the code. We've completely traced this philosophical metaphor of the Tao into master programs and subprograms, and we've seen how causality is really just the universe perfectly executing its algorithms. So I want to leave you with a provocative question. What kind of code are you writing with your actions today? Because the program is perfectly rigged so that as long as you give, you will gain. You have the immense power to act as an external force on your own life. You are the hacker of your destiny. Check your inputs, trust the ultimate compiler, and make absolutely sure you're writing the code that leads to the freedom you truly want. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.